Mantra interview show. So for my next interview for today is this incredible actress known by the name of Ilana. So I'm about to give her an ad into the live now. She's been in such incredible projects. So looking forward to the chat. And yeah, here we go, inviting Ilana in. Hello.
Hi,
How's it going, Ilana?
it's good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Thank you for coming on to my show, by the way. It's such a pleasure having you on. Uh,
Oh my
to
gosh, it's
people
a
that
pleasure to be here.
to people that don't know who you are, if you can give a bit of backstory about who you are and what you do, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Okay, great. This is so exciting. Okay. I'm learning how to use Instagram Live. Actually, I'm behind the times. So sorry about the technological
You're all
issues.
good.
Uh, I'm an actress. For those who don't know, I work in film and television, and I have been doing this for a very long time. And some of you may have seen me in things, and some may not. And I hope that those who have not will go and watch stuff after this.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the questions now. So for my very first question, so back in 2019, you were actually in this incredible film called Nightclub Secrets. What was that whole experience like for you?
Okay, well, that was a lot of fun. So that we actually shot in Atlanta. We shot there, and uh, the director, Joe Menendez, he's incredible. He also directed Siren and a number of other really, really cool things. Um, and it was a fun experience because the whole movie was just like a very not easy, but like it was a mystery, and it was about like the nightclub scene. And so it's sort of like the whole vibe on set was that it was just like fun, and everyone was really, really nice who I worked with, and people were just warm and welcoming, and we got to kind of do our own thing as we went along. The director was really easygoing about like us coming up with our own ideas, and that it made it really fun. It was great.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. What was your favorite memorable moment or scene to shoot in Nightclub Secrets and why?
Okay, so this is actually funny because it was such a small thing. It was a tiny little like blip in the movie. Almost you wouldn't notice it, but for me, the shooting of that scene was memorable. Well, first of all, the outfits in the movie, it was a nightclub, obviously, and we were all wearing these really tight corsets, and so that already made it hard to breathe and hard to think. Um, but but I did come up with this, kind of cool idea. The premise was the lead, Kate Mansi, who played the lead, who's really talented and wonderful. She played this girl who was a teacher and who had nothing to do with sort of the nightclub scene, and she went undercover to figure out who murdered her sister. And the idea was, my character Missy was already working there and kind of knew the scene very well and was like teaching her the ropes. And so there's the scene where she comes in and she's trying to enter the club, and there's this VIP area where, people are not supposed to go in. And so, I go in and then she gets stopped. And I said to the director, because there's like this really tall, big guy playing the security guard. And I said, well, what if like when I walk in, I just give him a kiss on the cheek? So it looks like, I do this every day. And then she tries, and then he's like, no, because then she sort of gets the idea like, oh, I can do that too. And then completely gets shut down. So it was a really funny moment that wasn't written, and we just kind of came up with it, and it worked really well. So that was my favorite.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. You were actually also in this incredible crime series called Chicago PD, and you played the role of Crystal. What was that whole experience like?
Ah, that's so different. That was great. So, Chicago PD, for those who don't know, is a procedural crime drama. So, it's a 1 hour series that each episode is like a new sort of story with the same cops and new bad guys, basically, each time. And so, I played the girlfriend of the main bad guy of the episode, and the cops were chasing him. Really different. The whole world of 1 hour drama is really, really different from film. TV moves a lot faster. And it was really exciting. I played like a kind of a drug addict sort of character. And so I had to have, it was my first time on camera with no makeup. None. In fact, they added stuff to, worsen the look. So that was, unique for me. But no, I loved it. It was a really great director also who just made everything wonderful, and the leads of that show are just so talented, and so just playing off of them made my job really easy. It was great.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So you were actually in this incredible other series called Brooklyn 999. And you played the role of Lexi. What was that whole experience like?
So I loved Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's a sitcom. It's comedy. So that's, again, every single thing is its own world. And I really loved Brooklyn Nine-Nine because so my character was kind of this ditzy, girlfriend who just didn't really understand what was going on as the cops were, again, chasing the bad guys. It is also centered around a police sort of thing with crime, but it's very funny, and it's a typical comedy type of show, but it's single camera comedy, which means it's played more real, and they kind of allow you to improv a little bit. And so on that shoot, they let us like riff a little bit and try different things, and then they would try 10 different things and then pick one that kind of works. And so I don't know, I love playing those types of characters because it's fun. You don't have to try to be smart or anything. You're just, that's the character. And it was really awesome to get to dive in and really go all the way with that.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So back in 2014, you have also been in a film called Nowhere Girl, and you played the role of Katie. What was that whole experience like?
Gosh, Nowhere Girl has a piece of my heart. That movie is just, if anyone hasn't seen it, like go right now, go on, I think IMDb has it, or if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can see it there, Amazon Prime. I loved that movie. That was really my favorite thing I think that I've ever done, even though, it was indie and it wasn't like some of the big budget TV shows and studio films I've worked on, but it was just the best experience. Jed Rigney directed it, and I was working with like the wildly talented Josh Robert Thompson and Jennifer Aspen, and they just, were amazing. And then I was also one of the leads of the movie, and it was a rom-com, and I love romantic comedies, and it was just like my favorite thing ever. And you guys need to go see it. I played an imaginary girl. A guy is depressed, and in order to get over his ex, he meets this quote unquote perfect girl who I played, Katie, and she turns out to be imaginary, and then trouble ensues. But go see it. It was just, I loved that movie. I loved the script. I loved everything about making that, even though we had a very tight sort of situation when we were making it because it was low budget and, things went awry, but it was really my favorite.
Well, can I just say, I actually watched Nowhere Girl, and you were phenomenal in it.
Oh,
so,
you're so
I love
sweet.
your performance, and you were incredible. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you so much.
Well. So on to my very next question. So you have also been in a film back in 2017 called Veep. What was that whole experience like for you?
So Veep is another sitcom, like a half-hour comedy. It's on HBO. HBO is great. I've worked with them a few times. Everything that they play is next level. Like everything HBO does, I think is 3 steps above every other network. I shouldn't say that. But they're just really, really great to work with. And Veep is unique in that they actually have the writers on set while you're shooting. And so it's like we would shoot a scene And then they would come in, and I was playing like the trophy wife of this guy who was really important for one of the political people to chase after to get a campaign with. And so they had to kind of impress his family. And I was playing the trophy wife, who was, 1,000 years younger than him. And so the guy mistook me as his daughter, and, it made for a very embarrassing moment. But what was funny about Veep, and what's great about it, is because the writers are on set, they're sort of like, you know what, we're going to change everything right now. And now you say this, and you say this, and you say that, and go. And so it's really, really fast paced, and the script is changing as you're going, but it makes for a really exciting kind of shoot, because, people who don't work in the industry, or those who do, might know that like days on set can be really long and sometimes boring, not while you're acting, but like lighting, setups, changes, all that is very technical and takes a lot of time. Veep was not like that, because it's just so quick, and they're changing so many things as you're going that you just kind of roll with it. And so I really liked that experience.
Awesome. So on to my very next question, who inspired you as a person to get into acting in the first place?
Okay. Here's the thing. I knew that I wanted to be an actress. I think I knew when I was around 5 years old. So I can't say, if I'm being totally honest, I can't say that there was a specific person that inspired me. There are definitely amazing performances that I've seen by like incredibly talented people that have inspired me over the years. But in order to get into it, I was a child, and I loved to play. And I just knew, as far back as I can remember, I knew that this was the only thing I ever wanted to do. And I guess I inspired myself.
So on to my very next question. So what have you learned about yourself as a person during COVID?
Wow. Gosh, I want to say I'm sorry to the world for COVID. It's such a terrible situation of everything that we've all been dealing with for the whole year. And I think every single person I know has probably grown in some way or another, having to deal with, just a new challenge, and having to deal with it as a society and as a community, as the entire world, is really something different than any other challenge that people may have faced in the past. And so for me, what I've learned about myself, well, as a person, as an actress, it's been difficult because the industry sort of shut down at the beginning of COVID, and then reopened in October, and then kind of shut down again. So, to all the actors out there and everyone in the entertainment industry, I'm sorry that you guys are probably not working right now. And so that's a challenge. As a person, it's hard to not be able to do what you love, during that time, and also just staying inside. And I think what you learn about yourself through all that, or what I learned about myself, is I'm a little bit stronger than I thought I was, because at the beginning of it all, I was like, I can't do this. I can't stay inside. I can't do nothing. I can't, and then you realize it's not the end of the world. God willing, we're all going to be healthy and stay careful, and just, you can do it. You can survive it, and you can, hopefully stay safe and stay careful and be grateful for your health. And that's sort of what I learned. I'm really grateful for my health, and I'm stronger than I thought I was.
So on to my very next question. So if you could be in any TV or movie franchise, what would it be and why?
Oh my God, everything. No. So there are a couple of things. I actually, once upon a time, I auditioned for, I don't know if any of you watched this show on Amazon Prime, for the role of Midge, Mrs. Maisel on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And I loved that project. And of course I didn't get it, and the Rachel who did is incredible. But I always wished like that sort of thing would be right up my alley. If I could play that character, and just like, I love romantic comedies and stuff like that. So if it were a movie, in terms of like movie roles, rom-coms always kind of get my heart, because they're just warm and cozy and they make you happy. So yeah, rom-coms for sure. And like a comedy show like that would be my dream role. Hopefully next, coming up soon.
Who knows? Anything's possible.
Yeah.
So onto your next question. So what are the positives and negatives into the acting industry, and how do you get through those negatives as a person?
Wow. Okay, it's a big question. Um, so let's start with the positives because we want to make people happy and not go off on a depressing note. I think if you really love it, this goes not just for acting, but for I think any art, anybody who's ever, done, worked in a career that was their passion, it's really amazing. And I feel so grateful to be able to do what I love every day. Like that, there's nothing better than that. There's no better feeling in the world than being able to just do what you love, and pursuing that as an artist it's a tough road, but getting to do it, there's nothing like it. It's like flying. I can't even, I don't have words to explain, like, what it feels like to be another person for me, but for anybody, in any art. I think that's the same idea. When people are passionate about what they do, getting to do that is amazing. So that's the positive. The negatives, the industry is so tough, and any of my friends who are actors and or directors, producers, writers, everybody, it's a collaborative process, which is also a positive, that you get to work with so many other talented minds and you're kind of all in it together creating something. But in terms of the negative, it's a tough road. It's they all say 1 in a million and the odds are against you and there's always so much competition and everyone will tell you you can't do it. So that's the negative. It's a tough road, but if you just to your core know that that's what you're meant to do and that's what you want to do and that you're willing to kind of fight the fight, then obviously I think it's worth it, but I also think everyone who does this has to be a little bit crazy in the head because it's really not a stable industry, myself included. So yeah, those are the positives and negatives.
Awesome. So on to my very last question. So what's next for you for 2021, like project-wise, that you would like to announce on the show?
Okay, so I'm going to half announce this quietly because those of you who may or may not know, Marvel is very, very secretive about their whole world, but so I can't say much. But there is a new show that I'm sure some of you are watching called WandaVision, which just came out a couple weeks ago on Disney Plus. Can't tell you who I play. I can't tell you what episode I'm in. I can't tell you any of that, but I can tell you that if you keep watching the show, you should see me at some point. So keep your eyes peeled.
Awesome.
And they might shoot me even if I say anything else. So
lips are sealed here.
Lips are sealed.
Awesome. Well, can I just say thank you so much, Ilana, for coming onto my show. It's been such a pleasure having you on. You have such a bright, incredible future ahead of yourself. Anyone, definitely go support Ilana. Whoever hasn't seen her projects, she's truly incredible. Do you have any last final thoughts that you'd like to say on the show?
Well, I just want to say thank you. This is so cool that, you do this, and I'm honored to be a guest on your show. And thank you for reaching out to me. That's it. Just thank you guys for listening. And that's all I want to say. I hope everyone goes and watches all the stuff I've been in.
Heavenly shades of night are falling. It's twilight time.
Wonder and Vision. Aren't we a five-pair?
This is our home now. I want us to fit in.
Oh, this is gonna be a gas!
Where did you two move from? How long have you been married? And why don't you have children yet?
Our story.
I think what my wife means to say is that we moved from...
Moved from where? Married when? Damn it, why?
Oh, Arthur, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Deep in the dark, your kiss spilled through.
Is this really happening?
Like days of old, lighting the spark of love that fills me with dreams of love.
Am I dead?
No. Why would you think that?
Because you are.
Each day I pray for evening just to be.
We are an unusual couple,
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
smile.